This is the story of a terrifying creature that lurks beneath our feet in the dark, damp tunnels of the city sewer. I am going to tell you what happened to a boy named Daniel, who found out that some nightmares are real. Daniel was an ordinary 15-year-old boy living in a small town. He had heard stories about something living in the sewers, something unnatural, something monstrous. Of course, he never believed them. People always talked about strange things to scare kids, right? But that changed one evening when his little brother, Tommy, went missing. It was a cold autumn night when Tommy disappeared. The last time anyone saw him, he was playing near the drain at the end of the street. No one knew where he had gone. His parents called the police and the entire neighborhood searched for him. But there was no sign of Tommy. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. Daniel couldn't sleep that night. He kept thinking about the stories, about the thing people said lived down there. His heart pounded as he sat up in bed, staring at the window. Then he heard it. A scratching noise, faint but clear, coming from the drain outside his house. He ran to the window and peered outside. The street was empty, the dim streetlights flickering. Then he saw movement near the drain. A shadow. Something large, something hunched over. His breath caught in his throat. He wanted to scream, but he couldn't. The shadow moved, disappearing back into the sewer. The next morning, Daniel decided to find out the truth. He grabbed a flashlight, a rope, and a small knife, just in case. He knew his parents wouldn't let him go, so he waited until they weren't looking and sneaked out. The drain where Tommy had last been seen was covered by an iron grate, but it was loose. With a bit of effort, he managed to lift it. The smell hit him first. A horrible stench, like rotting meat. He gagged but forced himself to climb down the ladder. His flashlight flickered as he reached the bottom. The tunnel stretched out before him, dark and wet. Water dripped from the ceiling, and rats scurried in the shadows. He walked forward, his shoes splashing in the shallow water. The deeper he went, the more uneasy he felt. The air was thick, almost suffocating. Then he saw something that made his blood turn to ice. Small, muddy handprints on the wall. They were fresh. Daniel followed them, his heart racing. He turned a corner, and suddenly, the air grew even colder. His flashlight flickered again, and for a second, the tunnel was pitch black. When the light returned, he wished it hadn't. Standing a few feet away was something tall and thin. Its skin was gray and stretched tight over its bones. Its eyes were large and hollow, and its mouth, was wide and filled with sharp, uneven teeth. It made a low growl, and Daniel froze. The sewer monster. Daniel wanted to run, but his legs wouldn't move. The creature stepped closer, its long, bony fingers reaching toward him. Then a faint voice echoed through the tunnel. "Danny, help." "Tommy." Ignoring the terror gripping his chest, Daniel turned and ran in the direction of the voice. The tunnel twisted and turned, and he almost slipped several times. Behind him, the creature gave a terrible shriek and followed. Daniel ran faster than he ever had in his life. The tunnel opened into a larger chamber, and there, huddled in the corner, was Tommy. His clothes were dirty, his face streaked with tear. The sound of something crawling, something coming closer. Daniel turned, and there it was. The monster's eyes gleamed in the dim light, its mouth curling into a twisted grin. It lunged. Daniel grabbed a broken pipe from the ground and swung it with all his strength. It hit the monster's arm, but it barely flinched. It roared, its claws swiping through the air. Daniel pulled Tommy behind him, desperately looking for a way out. Then he saw it, a rusted metal grate high on the wall, a possible escape. But it was too high to reach. The monster advanced. Daniel had no choice. He lifted Tommy, pushing him up toward the grate. "Climb!" he shouted. Tommy grabbed the bars and pulled himself up. The monster snarled and lunged again. Daniel ducked, feeling the wind of its claws just above his head. He scrambled up behind Tommy, his fingers slipping on the wet metal. The monster screeched and grabbed Daniel's ankle, its grip like ice. He kicked as hard as he could, hitting its face. It let go just enough for him to pull himself up. He and Tommy squeezed through the grate and fell onto the street above. They lay there, gasping. Then, Daniel scrambled up and slammed the grate shut. The monster howled from below, its face barely visible in the darkness. And then, it disappeared. The boys ran home. Their parents were in shock, hugging them tightly. The police searched the sewer the next day but found nothing. No monster, no tracks, nothing. But Daniel knew it was real, and it was still down there.